Hey, welcome back to Inner Wisdom Wednesday, and it's a triple header today. But I'm bringing in the home base with Cindy today. It's going to be awesome because she's the get shit done girl. And I met her in a group that I'm in, and so I'm just going to tell you this quick story. She, was posted that she was doing this summit, which was amazing, and she can tell you about that. But she was going to do this summit about for solopreneurs and getting their life and getting their shit together and all that. And so I just messaged her and I was like, "Hey, can you chat with me about doing a summit? Like, I have no idea how hard that is or what I could do or what I couldn't do." And she's like, "Sure." So she got on we got on a little Zoom call, and like I was so impressed with, like, she had these giant spreadsheets, but then she's like, "Yeah, you could just do this and this and that, and like you just do these four things, you'll be fine." Like like when I got on the phone, I was like, "There's no way I could do a summit. Like I'm lucky to do what I'm doing here. Like this is it." And then like she made it so easy and so simple, and that if I really wanted to do it, I felt like I had the skills to do it. Like, right? And so that was my moment that I was just like, "Oh, this girl is definitely like she definitely like really makes it so simple, like, right? Keeps it easy." Because I was getting overwhelmed just looking at her stuff, and she's like, "Yeah, but I'm not doing that, and I'm not doing that, and I'm not doing that." And I was just like, "Oh, okay." And then it's like, "Yeah, and then you could do this, or you could do that. Then you could do that." And it's like, "Oh, okay." Like, I would have probably gone on some thing and tried to figure it all out and been like a crazy person. And I never would have I haven't done a summit, but I certainly never would have done one. Like, right, if I hadn't had that little moment with her, I mean, it was 15 minutes or 20 minutes. Like, if I hadn't had that moment to just go, "Oh, this is how you, I couldn't believe she never had done a summit. And she had all this stuff, like weeks planned out and things. I was just like, this is amazing." So I'm giving her a little shout out because if you don't know her, this is what she does. She takes hard stuff and makes it easy and simple. Right? So we all need that. I take the hard food stuff, I take the hard mind stuff, and I make it simple for you. She does that too, but she takes the business stuff and your life kind of, managing that and makes it simple. So there you go. So that's why she's on my show, is because she's amazing. And I have a lot of solopreneurial people. Can't even say that. Solopreneurial. That's not even a word probably, but it's okay. I have a lot of friends that are solopreneurs, and they definitely, could use some strategies and tools and tips because you know what? We didn't go to solopreneur school. And even if we did, like we learned all the really hard stuff, and we're like, that doesn't apply to me, or I don't know how to do that, or we're all just it's like parenting. You're just kind of winging it until you get some people in there to help you, right? So anyway, that's why Cindy's here, and you're gonna love it. It's gonna be awesome. We're gonna have so much fun, and we're gonna drop wisdom bombs because that's what we do on Inner Wisdom Wednesday. It's all about wisdom bombs. And the truth is, what I like to say is, you know, you have all the answers for whatever's going on in your life, right? You have the answers for what kind of business you want to have, what kind of programs you want to do, or what kind of life you want to live, or what do you need, whatever you need to be doing next. It's your inner wisdom, your intuition. We're just offering up tools and support and ideas and evidence that you can do it, because we've been on this journey. Like, we figured it out with help, with things, or we struggled, and we don't want you to struggle. Right? So we took the long rocky road in the wilderness barefoot with no flashlight. You don't have to go that way. You could like get on the interstate with your car and you get there. But instead, I took a detour over here and over there, and it's like really taking me a long time to get there.
Yeah, absolutely.
On the scenic route, but I don't know how efficient that is. It's fun, but not efficient. So anyway, so Cindy lives in Canada, and she is like I said, a business. She calls herself the Get Shit Done Girl, but it really is about helping you streamline your business as a solopreneur, and not only that, but find the balance in there, right? And find the balance because there's, if you're just killing yourself trying to run this business and you don't have any quality of life, then that was the whole point of having the business instead of working for somebody else, right?
Absolutely.
So I'm going to let Cindy tell you a little bit more about her journey and how she got to becoming this kind of girl.
Wow, what an introduction.
I know, right? No, she's really awesome. So anyway, yeah, just tell us how you kind of, came to be doing what you're doing here.
Sure, absolutely. Well, it starts back from when I was a kid, really. My dad, I was always had that entrepreneurial mindset, and my dad told me from when I was a kid, you can do anything you want. You have the potential to do whatever it is that you want to do. And that's what I grew up with. I grew up on a farm, really happy childhood. And when I was 16 years old, he died suddenly, and my life was torn apart. And in that moment, I decided to just stop living. I didn't care anymore. And I went through a series of poor decisions that included drug addiction, abusive relationships, all the bad decisions, and failed business after failed business after failed business because I didn't know who I was and I was choosing not to live. I didn't care. So I was just winging it and going after the almighty dollar rather than being true to myself. And I ended up being a bitter bartender after a series of failed businesses and failed jobs and traveling and not just being lost. And I ended up bartending and just being miserable. I absolutely hated it and realized one night, I need to make a change. And I made a decision to move into something else. I didn't know what that was going to be, but I ended up going back to college as a mature student, and it took event and promotions management. And throughout that, I started working as a virtual assistant because I had had experience in the online marketing world, in the old school marketing, and thought, virtual assistant, I can do that. So that's how I started. And I actually met a lady. Part of our curriculum was to volunteer at events. And I met Chantel Adams, who was running Shine Live. And she said, oh, you want to be a virtual assistant? Well, there's 150 women that are your perfect audience in this room. You need to be in this room. So I volunteered at Shine Live, and out of that got 5 or 6 different clients from one event. It was amazing. And I thought, yes, I'm set. I know exactly what I'm going to do. And I hit the ground running. And then, bam, it hit me like a truck. I was so overwhelmed, so lost. I had no idea what I was doing online. I had so much work, which was good, but I was so busy and I had no time to figure out anything. It came to the 20th anniversary of my father's death, and our whole family was planning to get together and do a celebration of life and just share memories and, get together. And I actually helped plan the event. When it came time to go, I chose not to go because I was, making excuses. All my clients won't understand why I'm taking a weekend off. My clients won't understand that I need to actually go and spend time with my family. My car might break down, and then what will I do? It was just one thing after the other with excuses, excuses, excuses. And I missed out on one of the most important events of my life because I was overwhelmed and afraid. And that made me realize that something needed to change big time. So I sat down and I started writing, and I just wrote down all of the things that were bouncing around in my head. As a solopreneur, I know everybody knows what that's like. And you just are like, oh, all these things and all these ideas, and oh, I could do that, and oh, I could do that. Shiny object syndrome. So I wrote all it down. And it was
what you're talking about. What?
right.
What you're talking about.
5 pages later, I felt like I had cleaned out the closet, literally, in my head. And I had read Stephen Covey's 7 Habits of Highly Effective People and his boring little quadrants of not important, but important, or whatever it is. And I was like, okay, let's prioritize this shit. Let's figure out what needs to happen now and what can be put off until like next week. And I started realizing that I wasn't even in chaos. I wasn't overwhelmed, but I was focusing on doing things that didn't matter or shouldn't even be done at all. Or I was doing things over and over and over again instead of automating it. Just those simple things, right? So once I cleaned the closet out, I got so much clarity and my business shifted. Now I work maybe 20 hours a week. I make way more money than I did back then. I am never overwhelmed. I ran an online summit and still did all my client work during that summit. Like, my life is easy now just
Yeah.
because I've created these very, very simple systems. And so my mission is to simplify the online business world, because so many solopreneurs, just like I was, have a message to share, but are so overwhelmed by all the things that they never end up sharing that message. So I'm on a mission to simplify the online business world so that more solopreneurs can have a positive impact on the world.
Yeah, I love it. I love all of that. And, it's really so powerful how, you really wanted to be there and experience this event for your dad and with the family, but yet you felt so committed to this business that you were growing and the people that you were serving, that you totally abandoned your own needs, right? And I think a lot of us do that, right? We do it as parents, we do it in a lot of ways, but to kind of be aware that, like, you don't have to do any of that. You can have, not even have it all, but you can have the experience. Like, you could have gone and been with your family for that, for that time, and you still could have served your clients. But like you said, when you were stuck in all of the minutia of your day,
Exactly.
you're like, I don't know, you're just putting out fires all day, right?
Yeah,
Right?
exactly.
It was such a great way for you to really express how a lot of us feel, like when we can get in that overwhelm, and then of course you're telling yourself you're in overwhelm.
Yeah.
So you're just reinforcing that.
Right? Yeah.
I'm stressed out and I'm busy and I'm in overwhelm.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so then
okay.
just stay there.
And I'm stuck.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I can't imagine how I'm gonna survive my day.
Exactly.
Yeah, at least stop saying that. And then, I love what you did though. I love this, like, getting it out of your head, because I was not a journaler or keeping a diary or anything like that myself. But once I started just purging and getting the stuff out of my head, and, even the tears would come with it or what,
Mm-hmm.
because then you got to get into forgiveness, and you're just like, oh my gosh, why did I do that? What was I thinking, or whatever? But just getting it out is like so therapeutic, because you cannot, you can't, you think you're processing it, but it's just like going around it's just like going around and nothing's happening.
Yeah, absolutely. So I did create actually a quick little PDF and a video description on how to use this process that I created.
Awesome.
Yeah, I'm happy to share that. It's you can just find it at cindyvanarnam.com/creativity. It's called a creativity cleanse.
That is perfect. Creativity cleanse. We all need that. We really do. And there's the reason you created it is because we need to be able to process it. Yeah,
Absolutely.
I
All of
can't.
my clients do it on a weekly basis. I do it on a weekly basis. I even get my mom to do it. She's not even a solopreneur, but she gets overwhelmed with stuff. I'm like, Kate, do this.
Yeah, I think I downloaded it and I didn't do it. So there you go.
Yeah, you have to do it.
Yeah, I have to do it. So I'm putting a little star here. It is going to be on my cleanse list.
Perfect. Well, I am an accountability coach, so I'm going to hold you accountable.
I'll message you. I did my cleanse.
Perfect. If I don't hear from you in the next week, I'm going to write you.
Yeah. No, I did download it. And it was like, it's one of those things, and you look at it like, oh, I got to come back to that. I was like, I got to, even though it was
It
it was
needs to be a priority. It
yeah,
needs
exactly. And so, but yeah, awesome. Um, I love that you have your mom do it just to like just to filter, right? Just to focus and filter.
Yeah, yeah.
Right?
It really helps you prioritize what needs to happen first. And the four quadrants, I've named them. So there's the 911 quadrant, which is the shit that needs to get done like immediately, like last month. And once you get in the habit of doing this week after week after week, the 911 quadrant disappears.
Right. Because you're not in that crisis
Yeah,
mode.
exactly. Then you've got the sanity saver quadrant, which is all of your systemized, automated, or delegated tasks. So those are the things you do day after day after day or week after week after week. You create systems or you create an automation so that you don't even have to think about it, or you send it to your VA.
Or you hire somebody to do
Yeah,
that for you.
absolutely, absolutely. Then you've got the stop doing it quadrant, which is scrolling through Facebook all day long and pretending you're working. The shiny object syndrome. I'm the kind of girl that likes to virtually slap the hand in the cookie jar. No more shiny object syndrome. And then you've got the magic maker quadrant, which is my favorite. And that's where you should be spending 80% of your time. That's your marketing, that's your journaling, that's your creating new programs, that's your talking to people and connecting with people, all that good stuff that makes your business move forward.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's great. Um, what what do you think is the biggest challenge that solopreneurs have in trying to, maybe not the biggest, or maybe the most common, or the one that maybe has the biggest impact if they change that?
From what I see with working with my clients, the biggest struggle that they have is that there's information overload.
Mhm.
You go online and there is a freebie for everything on how to run a business online.
Yeah.
In my personal opinion, you need three things to run a business online. You need content,
Yeah.
whatever that might look like. It could be Facebook Lives, it could be blogs, it could be Facebook posts. Maybe you're not even on Facebook, maybe you're on Twitter, whatever it is. But you need content of some sort to to get visible, to have people see you and know that you're open for business.
Yeah.
You need a way to take calls. So Zoom, that's free. You don't need to pay for Zoom. Then you need a way to collect money.
Yeah.
PayPal. Boom, you're done. That is all you need in order to start running a business online. You don't need a funnel. You don't need landing pages. You don't need all that crap
Yeah.
because everybody says you need to. You don't. You just need those three C's, and that's it.
Do you see why? Do you see why people? Why I said she's like incredible? You just get those three things, right? Right?
Yeah, it's really that easy.
Yeah. And then so we have Hillary says, what is the thing that people spend so much time on that they could easily automate?
Very good question, Hillary. One of my favorite things is a scheduling app.
Mm.
So I don't know how many of you have gone back and forth like 8 times in an email trying to book a time that works for both of you. Oh, my dear Lord, just get Acuity. It's free. It takes 20 minutes to set up. And then you can just say, here's my scheduling link. Book a call that's convenient for you. Boom, you're done. And then you're not wasting, I don't know how much time
Yeah.
back and forth in
That
email.
was a game changer for me. That was a game changer for me. Just trying to, or then somebody needs to reschedule, then you're back on that loop again.
It's just never ending, never ending.
Because you're like, you finally got a day, and then the day before that, you're like, oh, great, now we got to reschedule.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I hope that's helpful, Hillary. But yeah, the scheduling app for sure. So
Mhm.
what else do you really love helping? What are some other things that you really see your clients challenged with?
So content is the other piece. I think that, I mean, once you get on the call and you have a way to collect money, that part is taken care of, but creating the content can be challenging. I'm an accountability coach and I run a course, not a course, sorry. I do a private service called Content is King. And what it is it's a way I walk you through this magical little process where I help you create your content plan for an entire year.
Mm.
However, I've seen a lot of content plans that are so structured that nobody ever actually does it. So I've made mine really, really flexible for those spontaneous solopreneurs out there that are like, nope, I'm not sticking to the plan. So I've made it really easy so that they just do it. I plan out your content topics for an entire year. I show you a system to create content that makes it literally write itself. And then I hold you accountable for a full month to make sure that you're creating content on a weekly basis. That makes sure that you actually get out and do that. And once you've done it for a full month, at that point, you're normally in the habit of doing it and you're used to the new system and you can move forward from there. So that one is my biggest thing. I find a lot of my clients are terrified to do a Facebook Live. So that seems to be one of the biggest things that I work with people on, is to get them to do a Facebook Live. Once you do your first one,
yeah, I just have people come on the show and make them talk for an hour. Then they're so over the Facebook Live. They're like, I just talked for a whole hour.
right, that is one way to do it.
No, but it's true. But that's a great tool that you've created to really help get out of the weeds, right?
Mm-hmm.
Get out of the weeds of that. I have so much to say. I don't know what to say. I don't know how to say it. I don't know.
Yeah.
Whatever. And then or you write 17 blog posts and then you don't like any of them and you don't post any of them and you're like, well, Easter's over, so I guess I can't write that story about Easter that I was going to write.
Right. Yeah. I see that happen so often. And so the system that I've created, I actually did it during my summit as a hot seat with a woman. And
Yeah,
the
you did. That's right.
oh, she was just like,
Yeah.
I was like a kid in a candy shop when I showed her the spreadsheet, because she was just so blown away. She was like, oh my God, this is life-changing.
So, it's so easy, like easy. Well, it's so simple, but it's not easy because we get in our own way, right?
Yeah,
Because
absolutely.
we fear and doubt and self-sabotage and whatever. I'm not good enough and whatever shit show story you got going on. And
Absolutely.
we all do it. And even you can probably attest to, even as you up level and even as you move, like as you move from your one VA business to the next, like, it's still you're circling around. You're like, oh, okay, comfort zone. Ah.
Yeah, absolutely. And I
Yeah.
think that's why the accountability piece is so important. I can give you every system in the world, but if you're not using it, it's pointless. It's a
Right.
waste of both of our time. So I've added in that accountability piece to just move you forward and make sure you're actually using the simple system that I created for you.
Use the thing that you downloaded. Let's do that.
Right?
Yeah, it's like the same thing. I have my clients, they'll buy these protein powders and I'll give them all these, mindset, work to do. And then, they come back and they're like, yeah, I didn't do any of that. Okay.
Yeah,
And,
exactly.
then, well, why not? Right. It's like, but at least as an accountability partner, coach, we can help them. Okay, what's getting in the way? What was the thought? What is the fear? What's happening?
Yeah. And
So
I'm the kind of girl.
we took all the hard part out. We took the overwhelm and we made it simple.
Yeah.
Right? But then it's like you still didn't take action. What happened?
And I'm the kind of girl that doesn't take any excuses or bullshit. Yeah, I hear that. Let's reframe that.
Exactly. I'm like, well, how's that working for you?
Yeah, that's one of my favorite sentences, actually. How's that working for you?
How's that working out for you? Oh, it's not? Okay, good. And we are here to say, I can only speak for myself. We're not immune. Like, we speak from this because we have lived it, but we're definitely still on the journey, but definitely like, yep, lots of excuses, lots of stories, lots of reasons why we can't do that or why, whatever that is about that. So
absolutely. I have a coach for that very reason too. I'm not immune either. So, yeah.
So, I mean, and this is just human. This is one of the things that, we love to show is that this is just human nature. Like, this is like, no one is really out there. Like, no matter what you see, no one is, even Tony Robbins, I'm sure he's been doing this a long time, but, I'm sure he has his moments and his stuff. And he's just like, like, one time I think he was gone from home for like 12 weeks and he finally got back at his pool and he was just like, why am I living like this? Like, right? I mean, he's out there, but he was not even at home. Like, right? So he has, he too has to work on the balance and and figuring it out. Um, so content. So you have your content is king. Is it Key or King?
King, king.
King. That's what I thought. Okay. And then this accountability. What do you call that? The topics for a year. Content for a year. That's where the content is king.
Yeah. And then I have a accountability incubator. So anybody who is maybe just getting started in business or has been in business for like 2 or 3 years, but is looking for some support and accountability, they can come and join me in my group, and we meet once a week. We set intentions for the week, and then I hold you accountable to that intention. I also make sure that you're avoiding shiny object syndrome. So if you're coming to me saying, "Oh, but I had this idea," I'm literally going to virtually smack your hand and be like, "No, you're not. Let's prioritize here. Is that important? No. Okay, let's not do it." So we meet once a week, and there's a Facebook group, of course, that you can join in on. The cost of that this is where it's fun. You get to pick the price.
Ah, awesome.
Whatever value you see in it, that's what you pay.
Mm-hmm. Love it. Love it. My daughter was a babysitter for years when she was a teenager, and they always used to say, well, how much do you charge? And she's like, whatever you want to pay me, whatever you think I'm worth to watch your children.
Yep, exactly.
Whatever you think, a lot of money.
Whatever you think I'm worth to smack your hand, then that's what you pay me.
That's right. Like if you could have somebody come swap the cookies out of your mouth, like right when you weren't going to eat them.
I do that with business processes and systems.
I love it. It's the perfect analogy, right? Just I love that. I forgot what I was going to say. Kind of, but anyway, what else would you like to share? What other things you want to share?
Well, this is the first time I'm announcing this, so this is fun that I'm doing it here. I have decided on May 29th to launch a content planning challenge.
Wow, awesome.
No idea what it's going to look like yet, but you can come and follow me and I'll let you know.
Awesome. Where are they going to follow you?
So I'm on Facebook as Cindy Van Arnam. You can add me as a friend. You can follow my business page. I am also on cindyvanarnam.com is my website. Super easy to find me.
So is that going to be like a 5-day challenge? Yeah,
I haven't even planned that part out yet. I literally just had this idea a couple days ago. So it's still in the mapping out process. I believe it would probably be a 5-day challenge. Yeah. And it'll help set people up to start creating content.
Awesome. So great. So great. So what is your one big message that, if it was translated into every language and you got to go speak at the UN or somewhere and just be like the whole world needs to know this, even if you're not online, even if you're not an online solopreneur or whatever. But what is your one big message for the world?
So I've spent a lot of time thinking about this because it's taken me a long time to get clarity on it. But what it is that every single person on this planet has the ability to have a positive impact on the world. If you could just get out of your own way.
Yeah.
Even if you're only helping one person, that's still a positive impact. So find a way to get out of your own way.
Exactly. I love it. I love it. It's really one of the biggest things that you can do with your life is to just show up and serve in some way, And it might just be that you're just being the best version of a parent that you can be, and sometimes you're in your own way in that because you're parenting from maybe some styles that didn't even serve you.
Absolutely.
Right? But maybe learning how to be a better parent or whatever, that's getting out of your own way, or getting some support if you're in overwhelm or struggle or something, managing your home and your family or whatever, right? Or maybe it's just like, I always tell my kids, like, you never know who really you're impacting just by showing up and being yourself,
Yeah.
right? And so if we can't get out of our own way and find our voice and, be ourselves, we just never know. I mean, how many people in your life can you look back and really think about something they said or the way that they behaved or something they did was really like empowering for you, like really, like it really stuck with you. And you it might have been a teacher, it might have been, you might not even remember their name, but you remember something that they did, or you remember how they showed up, or you remember how they cared, or you remember something. And so yeah, you just really never know how you're really impacting people. And the best thing that you can do is just get out of your own way. You're so right. And just show up authentically. And it's really a challenge because a lot of us just kind of, this whole show is about inner wisdom, but a lot of us we stop trusting our inner wisdom. I mean, when you go through a journey of making choices that were, I've been there, making choices that were not necessarily the best ones for you or for others. But, and then you start to not listen to yourself. Well, first of all, then you stop listening to yourself because you're like in another world. But, you don't trust yourself. You don't trust and you don't stop long enough to, hear your own wisdom. Right? I always used to say I was like a human doing and not a human being.
Right? Oh, that's good. That's good.
Right? I was just doing, and I don't know, I'll volunteer here and I'll do this and, just trying to get out of my own way. I was just trying to.
Just ignore yourself entirely.
Exactly. The busier I am, the less I have to think about anything going on here.
Right. Yes.
But
Which is not good. Yeah.
because then you're at the victim of your circumstances. Then you're running around saying, why is life happening to me? Why is this happening? Well, you are creating this. You just didn't have any awareness that you were creating it. Just
Yeah.
like in a business, like you're creating all the chaos
Mm-hmm.
or the feeling of chaos or the feeling of overwhelm or whatever because you don't have a system, But I love it because like, I don't know. I just one day was like, oh, I could be a health coach. Yeah, I'll go get trained. I was like, I have no idea what I'm doing. What am I doing? I have no idea. I don't know. I guess I'll read the book. I guess I'll get on a thing. I'll do it and then you just get an overwhelm. Like you said, there's so much information. And I like to say that about people with food and nutrition too. I call them nutritional zombies because they're just like, I don't know what to eat. I don't know what to do. I don't like, hey, a 2-year-old can feed themselves. Like we have stopped thinking about that. Like, right? We're just like, I don't know. Should I eat this? Should I eat that? How many carbs? How many things? Like, and then you're in overwhelm and you just say, what's the point? I
No,
don't
you
know
don't
what
even
to
do it
eat
in the first
or when
place.
to eat or how to eat or where to eat. It's just food. Every animal on the planet can feed themselves.
Right? We make it so complicated.
And so I was thinking about that when I was like getting ready for the show today. I was just like, yeah, it's a lot like just like our health. Like we make it so complicated.
Mm.
And it doesn't have to be like that, right? And it's just because of all the noise and all the stuff and all the habits and all of the, all the garbage that we brought with us or whatever, and our lifestyle and whatever. And so I love what you do is that you just are really making it manageable
Mhm.
so that people can go out and impact and share their message and share their work in the world.
Absolutely.
Because you're right, there's so many amazing people that their story, like I didn't really know your whole story. You told like a little bit more today than I did know.
Mhm.
Um, but yeah, it's like you really don't know somebody's story until they share it, and then there's always parts that you can relate to someone's struggle. If nothing else, you can just relate to the fact that someone struggled.
Yeah, absolutely.
Lost your dad and then you struggled to being lost, and I lost my dream and I struggled with being lost, same, so we all can relate to each other in that way that we are we're more alike than we are different.
Yeah.
right? And we really think like, who really wants to hear my story? What do I have to say? Like, is it really that important? But it's important to show that like, no matter what your struggle, no matter what your story, no matter, how you got here, you figured it out and you're still figuring it out, but it's like we figured it out and we got this far. And if we can keep you from suffering for 35 years,
Right? Yeah.
you know, it might be a little bit better than hey, maybe I give you a shortcut.
Yes. Yes.
You're
Take a
creating
shortcut.
shortcuts for people.
That's right.
I, I love it. And I love your personality and your energy and um, you still do making it fun,
Yeah.
which is great because it can be overwhelming and it can be scary and it
Mhm.
can be, and there's moments where it's overwhelming, where you're just like, I don't know, why am I doing this in the first place?
Right? Yeah. Yeah. I like to make it fun. I'm very much a playful person. If it's not fun, I'm not doing it.
Yeah.
So I have created ways to make it
And
more.
and I think that probably comes me too. Like, I'm just trying to like, I was like, this sounds fun. I'm going to do this little show, whatever. And, but I think it comes from a lot of years of struggling and suffering and just the emotional, like being depressed and being frustrated and being in that space where you're just like, yeah, I don't want to live like that anymore. Like,
Yeah.
you don't have to. You don't have to. There's another way, right? Um, so that sounds amazing. Is there anything else that you want to share or that you feel inspired to talk about? Sure, you got it.
No, I don't want to overcomplicate things or overwhelm
I'm
anybody.
going to keep it simple. We've
Exactly.
already overwhelmed you enough.
Exactly. So yeah, definitely download the Creativity Cleanse, give it a try, and come follow me on Facebook. I love being stalked on Facebook. It's fun.
I stalked her. I was like, hey, you. I don't know what you're doing, but I like you. You're amazing. I like what you're doing. Uh,
No, thank you.
yeah, and I can't wait for this content planning challenge.
Absolutely. I will definitely let you know when it's ready.
I'll be stalking you. Don't worry. Don't
Oh,
worry.
you'll already know.
I will already know. I'll be in your head.
Okay. I like it. I like it.
Thank you, Cindy. This is awesome.
Thank
Uh,
you.
I really appreciate you coming on and really showing us how simple. Oh wait, we got a message. Here we go, real quick. Is
Only for new businesses or can you revitalize a business that's already going? Oh, Hillary, I can do both. I can do both. Absolutely.
Yeah. So that's perfect. Yeah, so beautiful. But I love you coming on and sharing your story and your journey and your how you came to be doing this work in the world, which is awesome. And you are really making things so much simpler for business owners to just get out of their own way. And again, yeah, share their story, share their work, have an impact. I'm going to leave with this, and I heard a speech a few years ago, and at the end, she said, "You need to share your story because someone on the other side of the world is hurting and needs to hear it."
Mhm.
Like, just speaking to the audience, like, no matter if you think your story isn't anything or is something or whatever, you just never know what impact you're really going to have, and that if that one person hears it,
Yeah.
right? It's like that's so worth it. But you know that it's going to be more than one, and in the end, it's never really about us anyway. We're just showing up to say, hey, this is what I did, this is what happened, this is where I struggled, and I made it this far.
Exactly.
you
Exactly.
know, and if I can help you not get in overwhelm and not get in the weeds and get out of your own way, and I can slap you silly, then Cindy's your girl.
If you
Me, I'll be telling you. what are you saying? Like, what is that? What are those thoughts coming out of your mouth? No, thank you.
Exactly.
Cindy, this is so much fun, as I knew it would be.
Yes.
And
Thank you so much.
yeah, I look forward to meeting you in real life soon this year. So yeah, I love it. I can't say enough about you. Ever since that first day with the whole summit thing, I was like, I don't even know why I called you to say that. Like, it was just like, this was so ridiculous. I don't know what I'm going to do a summit, but I just like felt compelled to reach. I think I just wanted to talk to you.
Mm.
I did think like, hey, I would like to do a summit. And now actually there's a couple of us that are actually getting together and we're actually thinking about doing one for healthcare professionals.
Oh, nice. Awesome.
Like healing, like healthcare professionals are notoriously not, they don't take care of themselves because
Right.
they're healing the world.
Yes, of course. They're too busy taking care
Just
of
like a business owner, I'm going to go out and serve the world, but I'm going to
live.
in my own overwhelm over here.
Right? Absolutely.
Hey, is your summit still is it still up
Yeah,
for
the,
viewing?
the replays are available until Friday, so people can still
Okay.
get in there. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
It is, if you go to cindyvanarnam.com/universal dash guide, you can enter your name and email address in there and get access to the replays until May 11th.
There you go. You got a few more days because there's some really great stuff in there. Really great. You had some great speakers and I really enjoyed it and it's really powerful stuff. So
Awesome. Thank
awesome. All right, Cindy, thank you again for coming on and smiling and laughing and
you.
sharing such great wisdom bombs with us.
Oh, thanks. It was so much fun.
All right, awesome. All right, we'll see you next time. Bye.